you clicked on this video, meaning you're not studying right now. We're gonna fix that. Hi friends, my name is Riley. Welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel, whichever applies to you. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about studying, specifically for finals, because it's final season, as we all know. Whether you're a college student or a high school student or in middle school, I don't know. I have some tips for you to help you start studying because you're probably procrastinating right now. I am a sophomore college student at SDSU. I'm currently in the teaching program. I have experience working with students through tutoring, after school programs, and I currently work at a preschool. I also have all of my own experience as being a college student with studying. So overall, I have a lot of experience with just getting to the process of studying. So I wanted to show you some of my tips personally for staying organized, studying, and surviving final season. So let's get into the tips. So my first tip is setup. I'm a big fan of not staying at home to study, mostly because for me that'll mean I end up on my bed, not at my desk over here. But if you have a nice desk to sit at and study and set up all your materials, then that might work for you. But personally, I like going to the library, going to a cafe, and getting all my stuff together and heading out. As for the stuff you'll need your notes, maybe a textbook, any of those school materials, pencils, pens, laptop, all of that. If you do have electronics to bring, I recommend bringing a charger for your laptop or whatever, but not your phone. My reasoning for that is that'll probably help you stay off your phone. It's super easy to get distracted with social media. It's just not what you want to be doing during studying for finals. Other stuff to bring besides school materials is like a water bottle, snack. If you're going to like a cafe, then you'll have those there. But I like having a second drink as well, like something fun that helps me feel like I'm having fun. I'm just also a beverage person. I love a good coffee or tea or whatever. I also bring my headphones and a playlist that's good for studying. I try not to listen to music with words just because that gets me distracted personally because I like to sing along. I'll leave my study playlist in the description, but it's mostly just Cinderella Twin Tails. Don't judge the picture for it. It's pretty funny. I'll also listen to music in different languages because I can't understand them, so I can't sing along. Or I'll listen to soundtracks, although my soundtrack playlist, I know it so well that I'll hum along now and it can even distract me with that. Specifically the Spider-Man Far From Home soundtrack. That distracts me. Anyways, just try to have a playlist that won't distract you if you want to listen to music. Next, I wanted to talk about timing. By that, I mean two things. One, how to know when to start studying and how to know when to stop. And two, when to take breaks. So about a week before my test, I like to put it inside my head that I'm going to have a test. That doesn't mean immediately start studying, but if you have a lot of material to go over, it might mean that. I try to do 3 hours total-ish. This varies depending on if I feel like I understand the information already. 3 hours total per test. So for example, I have 2 finals next week. The rest of my classes all have projects basically, but one of those finals I feel as if I need to study a lot more for. So I'm probably going to reach that full 3 hours in total of studying, maybe even going above that, but I do not put all of those 3 hours in one session, especially if you're doing it for multiple classes. You can have a 3-hour session of studying. I don't recommend it because I die out by the end of that, but don't do all one class. It'll make you go crazy. So my linguistics final, for example, is next Tuesday and it's currently Wednesday. I'm probably going to start studying for that class Friday, maybe? And then I'll probably do an hour on Friday, an hour on Sunday, and an hour on Monday. I actually probably would do studying the day of the test too, just for extra review, but I won't have time because I have work right before. If you have multiple tests, just try and work out where in your schedule you have a block of time every day. And I just say just use those and kind of separate based on how much studying you think you need per test. Your professors might recommend a lot more time than studying for that much, but personally I don't. It'll make you go crazy. It's not worth it. As for breaks, I don't do breaks based on how much time I've studied. I do breaks based on where I think I can break in the material I'm learning. For example, if I have a test that I have to study 5 topics on for this exam, I'm gonna take a break after studying each topic. If those topics are only gonna take you like 10 minutes to study each, I don't mean that. But I'd say take a break about every 30 to 45 minutes, honestly. Not long breaks, don't leave for an hour. But I'd say give yourself 10 minutes to scroll through TikTok, set a timer, because you're gonna get distracted for way too long, or 10 minutes to walk outside. Leave a big break for when you're about in the middle of studying. I'd say keep the 10-minute breaks for like after you've done about 30 to 45 minutes of work. But once you've gotten like halfway through, I'd say give yourself a 30-minute-ish break. Your mind can't take studying for that long. Here's the third topic, actually studying. If you watched my last study video, which you should if you haven't, it'll be in the card right there or in the description, you will know that I use a tablet to write notes on. I do this because I like physically handwriting notes in class and then typing them up after to make the studying process way easier. Now, if your teacher or professor goes really quickly, I would recommend writing your notes on a laptop just because that'll help you get every piece of information down as quick as possible, but it does help you study faster in the long run if you're handwriting all your notes in class. This is how it works for me personally. That's because of the whole handwriting memory retention thing, which if you don't know, basically it's supposed to help you remember more if you're actually handwriting your notes. For me, that's true, but when I'm studying, I usually won't want to handwrite everything again, so I'll write it on my laptop. I've seen videos where people flip-flop it and say they write notes on their laptop in class and then physically handwrite notes for studying, but personally I just like doing it the other way around. What's nice about it is that I do feel like I understand everything throughout the semester, and then really studying is just a review, not actually teaching myself the material. When I'm studying, I'll then bring those notes along with me to wherever I'm going to study, take out my study guide, which a lot of the time will just be topics. If your professor doesn't provide a study guide, again, watch the video I did before about studying. I teach you how to write a study guide, and I will basically just rewrite everything that's in my notes onto here. What's nice about the fact that I take pretty thorough notes is that everything that is asked on the study guide pretty much will be in my notes. If you don't take thorough notes, this is the time to be looking up information, reviewing in your textbook, comparing all of that. And I don't do anything fancy. I just write some notes. Basically every topic that's written in the study guide, I will just write on a Google Doc, and then I'll write everything I have in my notes on that topic underneath it. It's not fancy. It's not the prettiest thing, but the fact that you're rewriting it is kind of the best way to study, in my opinion. After you've written all of your topics into the study guide, I need you to get a friend. This is my imaginary friend. I'm gonna have my imaginary friend read off randomly topics from the study guide and quiz me. For example, if there's a fact in my study guide that says, my favorite animal is the beluga whale. It is. My friend is gonna go, what's your favorite animal? And I'm gonna go, the beluga whale. That is my favorite part about this entire process. If you have a friend in that class, you can just go back and forth, and it's just a quiz, basically. If you have this friend to help you, or family member, whatever, you don't need flashcards. Maybe you like flashcards. I hate flashcards. I don't know what it is. I don't like making them. I don't like using them. I just don't like them. All flashcards are just quizzing yourself. And this spoken version of the quiz is faster and easier because you don't need to make the flashcard. Maybe you like flashcards. That's good for you. And if you don't have a friend, then they might be useful because then you can quiz yourself without having that other person asking you. The fastest way to make flashcards, in my opinion, is through Quizlet. I don't know what it is. I don't like making the physical ones. It's not even like a paper wasting thing. I just don't like it. Flashcards can definitely be useful. Do them if you want. Last but not least, self-care. This seems silly. I always hate this part of study videos because it seems obvious, but you need to actually take care of yourself. None of it's gonna matter. None of the studying's gonna matter if you don't take care of yourself. For one, because if you're tired and hungry and stressed and sad, you're not gonna be able to do well on the test. But second of all, your health is way more important than school. Who would have thought? So please, sleep and eat and drink water. I don't care how well you do on your test. C's get degrees. If you're not sleeping at least 6, I'll even be lenient, 6 hours a night, then you're not following these tips. Just let yourself rest. Please eat, take a shower, go to bed. I promise you this test is not as important as your health. You are going to do amazing. I really do believe in you. And now that you've watched all these tips, you're basically set to get an A on this exam anyway. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, maybe subscribe. I'm going to be posting a study vlog sometime next week during my actual finals week, and I hope you come back to watch it. If you want more study tips, remember to watch that video in the description, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.